Hey guys, welcome to COMICONARTIST. My name is Alex, and for today's video, I'm going to be drawing Spider-Man. Whenever I begin a drawing, I always like to start with the head. Now, I've seen other artists start with the torso or other body parts, but for me, I use the size of the head to figure out the proportions for the rest of the body. Now, once I have an idea of the direction the head is facing, I can start to measure out the width of the shoulders. And then I can work my way down and figure out the size of the torso. And then I'll move on to the arms and legs. So I'm basing all of my measurements from the size of the head. Spider-Man's one of those characters where I'll really need to focus on his anatomy. As wacky as I can get with his poses, I still need to ground it in reality. At this stage, it really helps to be loose with my pencils because I'm not trying to set things in stone just yet. Now that I'm somewhat happy with the upper body, I'll start working on the legs. On a side note, it would be a great idea to start looking into reference materials, like muscle and fitness magazines, or even medical diagrams, to get an idea of correct muscle form. Try to draw more from real-life references. It's a lot of fun to draw like your favorite artist, but in the long run, you'll learn a lot more drawing from the real thing. I'll be doing a lot of back and forth between looking at each portion I'm drawing and at the drawing as a whole. I want to see if it connects well with the rest of the drawing. For example, that arm isn't working for me. Even moving it ever so slightly will make a big difference. Now I'll continue to refine the shape of Spider-Man's muscles. His head was starting to feel a little too big for the rest of his body. Best time to change it up before I get too far in the drawing. Now I'll be starting to add some more detail to Spider-Man's mask. As you can see, I've added a horizontal and a vertical line on the head as I was drawing the shape of his head earlier. These lines let me know which direction the head is facing, as well as allowing me to see at which level his eyes are at. I used to think that Spider-Man's webbing was the most difficult thing to draw, but I've later found out that once I had the proper foundation of anatomy laid down, the webbing was actually that much easier to draw. The direction and the order of the lines actually made more sense to me. The biggest challenge I find with anatomy is drawing bodies that twist and contort, like Spider-Man here. Now, going back to the idea of using references, understanding how the human form actually moves is so crucial. So if you can't find that one visual reference to depict exactly what you're looking for, it's time to get in front of that camera. Yep, you heard me. The best reference is staring right at you in the mirror. Just to be clear, I didn't use a reference for this particular drawing, but believe me, if the occasion calls for it, my phone camera's always ready. As I continue to get more comfortable with the form, I'll be adding more detail to the muscles and joints. Now I'm going to start locking down the shapes of his legs. I just did a quick check comparing the length of Spider-Man's legs. I do this regularly to make sure that one leg or arm isn't longer or shorter than the other. It's good to do those checks every now and then, and it only takes a quick second to make sure you're on track with your proportions. As I start adding the webbing on his back, I'm trying to follow the contours of his muscles. Like my initial sketch, I'm just trying to map out the general layout of the webbing. It doesn't have to be perfect, as I'll be using them as a guide. By the way, if you'd like to see more of my work, you can find me on Instagram, username ALXCHNG. Now that I've wrapped up my pencils, I hope you'll continue to join me for the next episode, Drawing Spidey Part 2, Inks and Colors. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, suggestions, or if you have any requests, feel free to write them below. And if you liked what you've seen, please give my video a thumbs up. And even better, click on subscribe, as I'll continue to have even more videos to check out. Thanks for watching.